response was not emotional at all. I knew the president was in Florida, but there would soon be many complex legal decisions to be made. I felt compelled to get back to work, back to the White House. I knew I would have an important job to do, and I needed to be there, so I focused on that. I immediately called Libby. "Get me on the next flight to Washington," I said. "Yes, sir. I'll do my best, sir," she answered professionally, barely masking the tenseness in her voice. Moose hailed a taxi, and we instructed the cabbie to get us to the airport as quickly as possible. As the taxi raced through the streets of downtown Norfolk, I reached my deputy, Tim Flanagan, on the phone. Tim was already in the White House Situation Room, a relatively small but highly secure room on the basement level of the West Wing. "What's going on there, Tim?" He had few details other than the obvious. These were acts of terrorism, and it was believed that Al-Qaeda was responsible. President Bush had been in an elementary school in Florida reading to a group of children at the time of the attacks. He was safe and was already on the move, somewhere. Nobody knew if other hijacked aircraft were still in the air or if there were other targets. There were. In the fog of such momentous and unprecedented events, when split-second decisions had to be made despite the potential of enormous ramifications, I knew it would be easy to forget protocol, legal authorities, or even logic, leading in the heat of the moment to potential violations of the law. "Tim, listen to me carefully," I said, expecting that our phone connection could be cut off at any moment. "Make sure all major decisions include guidance from the lawyers." At that moment, I didn't know what sort of decisions were in the works, and my mind raced, thinking of the possibilities. Whether, for instance, we would have to commandeer certain private resources such as buses or medical facilities. What if there are terrorist commandos already on the grounds of the U.S. Capitol or the White House? What legal tools did the president need to deal with the attacks upon our citizens, or to have to shoot a passenger jet out of the sky if it were headed toward a nuclear facility or other strategic site? Every decision had to be considered from a legal standpoint, as well as concerns for protecting our nation. A few moments after I hung up with Tim, Libby called back. "Judge Gonzales, the FAA is beginning to shut down all airports and restricting air travel all around the country. Right now there are no guarantees about getting you a flight back to Washington." "Okay, Libby," I said, my mind already considering alternative methods of transportation. "And Judge, they say that the volume of cell phone calls is overloading the system, so you may not be able to use your phone much longer." "Okay, thank you, Libby." "Judge, one more thing," she said calmly. "The Secret Service has ordered an evacuation of the White House. I have to get off this phone." "I understand." We hung up, and I didn't hear from Libby again that morning. The Secret Service's precautions were valid. Reports later confirmed that at 9:34 a.m., officials at Reagan National Airport had informed the Secret Service that an unidentified aircraft was streaking through the skies above Pennsylvania, rapidly heading in the direction of Washington, D.C. Near the Norfolk airport by now, my mind raced again through the possible legal authorities the president might exercise to protect America, such as declaring a state of national emergency, restricting travel, taking control of certain industries, and federalizing National Guard troops. Meanwhile, my wife, Becky, was frantically trying to reach me. Since my trip that morning was a quick jaunt to Norfolk and back, I had not even told her where I was going. Now, on that frightening morning, she simply knew that I had flown out of Dulles Airport. She did not know any of my flight information or my destination. Eventually, she reached Libby, who reassured her that I had not been aboard any hijacked aircraft and had arrived safely in Norfolk. Getting home was another matter. With no information other than what she could glean from television reports and a hurried conversation with Libby, and fearful of another attack, Becky wanted our boys with her. She contacted our oldest son, Jared, who had just started at Emerson College in Boston, making sure he was okay. Then she raced to Spring Hill Elementary to pull our two younger sons, Graham and Gabriel, out of school. The principal asked Becky to reconsider. She suggested that taking Graham and Gabriel out of the school might signal to other parents that because of my White House connection, we knew more than other families. The principal didn't want people to panic. Becky's maternal instincts trumped the principal's request. She picked up our boys and drove